Okay, so one thing I've learned about the Italians is that Italians don't usually date outside of their race. And when they do date outside of their race, this means that the Italians are kind of being, they're being alienated outside of their, their tribe. Because Italians have fought race wars in Italy. So, and those race wars were not no joke. They're not like, not bloody race wars. They fought bloody race wars against Africa. So they take the race war serious. And I grew up in Spanish Harlem, El Barrio. Union Settlement is basically a non-for-profit, but it's for regaining, the land that was basically being gentrified to other owners because before los españoles italianos or Spanish if Safarams, right? Because we are Safarams, but we could be Italian españoles, we're Italian españoles from España, right? Tuscan, some of us are. So you see Safarams, they're Italian, también. So they are, ¿cómo explico esto? That non-for-profit basically is like there to regain, David Nakati, right? So he's Italian. Linda Embry, she's Italian. But they're there to regain those lands that their ancestral migrations lost to Puerto Rican or black population when they had to basically fight, for those provincias. It used to be race war. I don't know how Italian or Espanol, Italian, you know, race warring, against, Italian provincia because they Italians be having race war. Shit, man. I stay out of all of that shit, man. Excuse my language. I stay out of all of that stuff, man, because Nancy Pelosi, she's amnesty. Forget it, man. Esos Italianos, they don't want no they're not for that. They're for their little community, Italian community. Okay, you go to Fulton Street. Todo eso es Italiano. Meatballs, spaghetti. Man, those meatballs and spaghetti, man. My favorito. That's my little Tuscan in me. And Chris Christie with the bridge, the amnesty, todas esas son todo eso es para la provincia de Italia. Táctica de italiano, Michael Bloomberg, Wall Street, todo eso es para ganancia y dominancia de Nueva York, provincia de Nueva York para Italia. For Italian Americans en Italia. Porque en Estados Unidos guerra bien brutal de raza. Chacho, man. Let me tell you, man, they race wars like you wouldn't believe, man. I don't know. Sometimes Puerto Ricans get pulled into that because this, like friends that I grew up with, that are mixed Italian, we're like, I probably have like a relative that's like, close to like a couple of Italians and I don't know, and before you know it, I'm excluded and I'm not eating spaghettis or meatballs anymore. Sitting, whining and dining, because I grew up by rails, right in front of Manhattan Center. And one of my friends that I grew up with used to be, who happened to be an FBI agent, used to be meeting up with a friend of his that was really close to rails. And man, let me tell you. I'm Puerto Rican, you know, and my family grew up with like Italianos. Pero, you know, sometimes los italianos cuando hay guerra de raza, forget it, man. Forget it. Nobody's included. Si tú eres italiano y tienes una esposa que es morena o japonés, como yo trabajaba en Excel con James, él es italiano, tenía un japonés. Pero si hay guerra de raza, wow, everybody's cut off. They go into Legionnaire, and they get lethal. Ellos se van listos, no les importa si son director de FBI, nada de si tú eres de otra raza, si la raza de ellos está en guerra. You know, porque algunas veces italianos se van a guerra con África, muchachos, porque África quiere empoderarse, ser fuerte en la tierra. Muchachos, trae a todo el mundo para esa guerra. Los puertorriqueños están, tú sabes, siempre están así. Entre toda esa guerra racial, porque nosotros somos Egipto, de África, pero somos españoles, chacho, somos una mezcla, you know, y estamos con la mezcla de Italia, y cuando ellos están guerreando, forget it, man, traen a todo el mundo. Si tú no peleaste para los italianos, te traen y te tumban la cabeza, los italianos. Te tumba la cabeza si tú no peleas para los italianos. Ese es el problema de todas esas guerras raciales que pasan en Nueva York, que pasan en todo Estados Unidos. Porque ellos Michael Bloomberg, de Blasio, you know, Mario Cuomo, todos ellos buscan razones por todas guerra en Nueva York. ¿Quién es que está tirando guerra en Nueva York?